January gets all the credit for fresh starts, but here's a secret. September is actually the perfect time to reset your goals, refresh your routines, and reclaim your time without the pressure of New Year's resolutions.
Hi, I'm Jen.
And I'm Erin. Welcome to Beyond the Scale.
Well, you can see I've got my New York hat on as we're leaving for New York in just a few days to get Talia back to school. So this is perfect timing to start talking about how September can be the new January and just a reset and a refresh. I love this topic.
Yeah, I love September. It is my favorite month. Here in Illinois, I don't know where you guys are all over the world, country, but this summer has been hot and rainy. So looking forward to more moderate temperatures, getting back into routines. I was thinking about this, Jen. You know how like babies and little kids need schedules? I
Yeah,
think adults need schedules. Probably, I think we get
absolutely.
even crankier sometimes than even kids do when we're out of our routine. What are the things that you're most excited about for September? What are you looking forward to?
Well, I was trying to think about like back when we were kids, right? And the whole back to school atmosphere. And I know we were talking about that last week with our podcast, but in more of just the excitement, that idea of like who's your teacher going to be, which kids are in your class, the new friends, the back to school outfits. And so
Yeah.
along those lines, I'm in a new space this morning, actually sitting at my kitchen table that opens up to our family room because I started thinking even about productivity. And although I have a little desk space carved out in a back room, it's kind of dark. And so I don't always stay as motivated to accomplish things. We might do a recording, I might do some typing, but I'm most productive when I'm sitting at the kitchen table. So I thought, just like back to school, maybe a new space. Now that my kids are gone back to school, I don't have to worry about anyone walking in and asking, interrupting us. And I also pulled out my planners that I actually did buy in January, but that whole January New Year's resolution just kind of falls by the wayside, doesn't it? And so I've got my new notebook and my daily planner that not only gives me a spot for all my goals, there's actually a spot for drinking water, checking off my water, and then doing my top 3 priorities for the day. So I feel like I don't know. I feel a little accomplished this morning just by my new space as we head into, the fall, my new January.
I love that you recognized that you needed to shake things up and that you reclaim the space. Now that the kids aren't around, you don't have to worry about that. You can use any space in the house now. So that's kind of exciting.
Yeah, you might still see me back in the corner or maybe even outside, but just realizing that there are spaces in my home that I become more productive or more of like a couch slob, right? Like you always think I can bring my laptop to the couch, but that doesn't work for me. It just turns into, slouching on the couch, having a TV show on in the background and not getting things done that I wanted to get done. That's my first September challenge, or for my new goal, is just to be a little bit more productive and setting up my physical space so that my mind kind of follows with that. What about you?
Well, somebody influenced me to get a weighted vest, and it's been sitting in a box from Amazon
Oh,
for 2 weeks. The temperatures, just the timing, it hasn't been ideal. Whenever it's cool enough, it's either raining or whatever. So I am looking forward to the temperatures cooling down a little bit.
mhm.
And I always really enjoy more movement and getting outside in the fall versus the summertime. Summertime, it's usually got to be so early or it's into the evening. And there's always my excuses of why I won't do something. But along the same lines as you, I love back to school clothes. Mentally, I'm thinking, ooh, what do I have in my closet? What do I want to add? Somebody I was working with the other day said, ooh, sweater weather. And I'm like, yes, sweater
Yeah.
weather. Those are the things I'm kind of excited about doing. So.
What a great opportunity to refresh that wardrobe. Possibly as if we're looking at this being like, how do I want to end the year strong? And what are these What didn't I do in January that, summer is supposed to give us this opportunity to refresh and vacation and come back, with this fresh mindset. But so often, at least for me, it's just been run, 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 run. And I'm almost just as exhausted as I was in January coming out of the holidays and the bills and the wrapping and the gifts and all of that stress. So looking at September as a way to almost like refresh that wardrobe, but maybe get rid of some things that don't make you if you don't feel good wearing it, if you don't feel pretty and strong and empowered, why is it still hanging in my closet? Like, let that go.
I heard something on Instagram about if you put it on and you don't feel great and you think of it as this is the outfit I'm going to die in, so I have to wear
Uh-huh.
this for my death and eternity. Are you going to wear it? And I was like, oh, because I put one on the other day and I was like, it's just okay. The whole day I
Yeah.
was kind of fussing with it. And I'm like, you know what? When I went home, it went into the Goodwill bag. I think it's also important to realize that in life, your tastes change after a while. Like some things that you
Mhm.
really loved before, all of a sudden you're like, this doesn't really fit me, suit me, feel like me anymore. An important thing to recognize as a good thing to look at as
Yeah.
a season change of like what is serving me? Are my habits serving me? Are my
Mhm.
clothes serving me? Throw that along with the back to school shopping of cute
Yes,
clothes.
of course, of course. But what you just said about now I'm going to forget exactly how you worded it, but along those lines of is it serving me? Maybe going back and looking at what were those goals we had in January and were they doable? Were they sustainable? Do they even match up with who I am? And if
Mhm.
not, it's okay to let that go. And that as we head into fall, goals don't just have to be about exercise and weight loss and,
Right.
meal prep, but it's who do I want to be and what would bring out that best version of me. So maybe I'm not the clothing size that I want to be, but I still want to at least feel good in the clothes I'm putting on and not just wait for like, oh, wait until I'm at that goal weight to buy myself something cute. I know I'm going to challenge you all, all of our listeners to find that one piece that makes you feel pretty or an accessory. I know Erin loves her bags and I love my shoes, right? And I feel like both of those, it doesn't matter what size you are to pull off a cute bag, right? So
Mm-hmm.
maybe we need to invest in a few pieces that make us feel good, or as you shared, maybe go ahead and say, it's time to pass this on to someone else because it just kind of brings me down or doesn't really do anything for me. So, yeah, we can do the new goals of exercise and fitness, and I'm all about my walking vest. And yeah, for my fall goals when it comes to my health, it will be to be more consistent with my walking vest. I'm going to say it out loud because we know there's power in speaking our goals, that 5 days a week I will walk with my walking vest. And I also want to refresh my meals, maybe
Mm.
not get so hung up on dinner because I mean, we all know family dinners are so important, but they also can be so stressful as everybody is running from here to there and activities. And then you do all this work and nobody wants to eat it. And then that brings me, that's a whole nother level of frustration for me. So when I say I want to refresh my meals, I'm talking about my meals. So I started looking through some old recipes and finding all these protein bowls that I used to prep for myself to eat at lunch for myself. So I'm going to pull out some protein bowls this week and some recipes and start shopping for those items so that I can bake ahead 5 meals or so, 5 bowls, and have them in the refrigerator so that every day when I get home, I've got a go to high protein filling meal that I enjoy.
Okay. How about you share those recipes? And
Yeah.
if anybody's listening and interested, comment below
Yeah.
recipes and we will find a way so that you can get those recipes.
Yeah. That
Okay.
would
So,
be
those of
great.
you listening, if you're interested in finding out about Jen's protein bowls, we will get that information to you. If you comment, we will get it to you.
Yeah.
I want to circle back to January just for one thing before we wrap up. I don't know about you, but I think that January is so hyped that
Mhm.
I start thinking about what I want to see for the new year and it becomes this super, super long list. And I'm like, of course, I can't decide. So I'm like, oh, I want to do all of them.
Yeah.
And then I start it, but then I'm not a New Year's resolution person, but I do try to start things. And I feel like I'm like the overachiever kind of thing. And then I fizzle out. So I feel like I just want to focus on, one or two things instead of going crazy. So for you, you're going to focus on the bowls and 5 days of activity.
Yeah.
So check back, comment
Yes.
below. Hey, Jen, are you
Challenge
doing
me.
those 5 days?
I'm not saying how long all 5 days will be, but I will leave the house with a walking vest on 5 days a week. I'm not going to add to the pressure of saying it's going to be my typical long walk through the neighborhood. It might be a short walk, but I'm going to leave the house with that stupid vest on. Or maybe, this is on the spot, spur of the moment. If not, for whatever excuse that we're going to have, we still have those Indian summers, we have those hot days with the rainy. I could wear my walking vest in the house while I'm doing chores. I think I will have that vest on.
Okay. Oh, see, now you're making me think. I'm like, I was gonna say 3 days, but
Sure.
maybe the 5 days. It still counts if I'm walking laundry up and down the stairs, right? And
Absolutely.
it
That's
still counts if
hard.
I'm vacuuming the house. It's still going to give me that body resistance. So, okay, all right. Challenge accepted. 5 days a week.
All right.
But we're not gonna go crazy about how it has to be a specific. I think that's where we have the disconnect of, oh, if I can't do it an hour or half an hour, whatever, it doesn't count.
And we don't do it at
Everything.
all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Call to action, everyone. What are you guys going to do? What are you excited about for September? Please share in the comments. We all want to know because we would love to hear what you have to say. Poll question. Somebody reached out and said they don't love my aviator glasses, that they like these glasses better. So I will put a still shot of the aviator glasses up after this. So give me a vote. Do you like those or do you like these glasses better?
You look cute in
And
both of them.
thanks, Jen. If you could please give us a thumbs up if you liked what you heard. If you could subscribe to the channel, leave us a comment. We want to hear what you're doing. So we're so glad you were here with us this week and welcome September.
The new January.